Hello everyone, welcome to the third module, Fairness. When talk about queues, the first term come to our mind is queue jumping. Why do we hate queue jumping? How do we preserve fairness in queues? We are going to talk about this in this module. In 2019, Popeyes promoted their chicken sandwich. This sandwich is said to be so delicious that the whole United States became crazy about it. Hundreds of people queued up for the sandwich, and someone decided to challenge the queuing rule. In Maryland, a man jumped the sandwich queue and got stabbed to death by another angry customer. So why do we dislike queue jumpers and want fairness? In psychology, we believe in fairness as we want to get what we deserve from our effort. Without fairness, we have to accept that life is unpredictable as negative things can happen on us at any time for no reasons. And no matter how much we pay, we will not receive what we deserve. Believing fairness allows us to feel better and to maintain control over our words. In queues, our effort is in waiting time, and the reward we want is getting served soon. It turns out, fairness and equality are deeply rooted in our instinct. Take a look at the following experiment.
So a final experiment that I want to mention to you is our fairness study. And so this became a very famous study, and there's now many more, because after we did this about 10 years ago, it became very well known. And we did that originally with capuchin monkeys, and I'm going to show you the first experiment that we did. It has now been done with dogs, and with birds, and with chimpanzees. But with Sarah Brosnan, we started out with capuchin monkeys. So what we did is we put two capuchin monkeys side by side. Again, these animals, they live in a group. They know each other. We take them out of the group, put them in a test chamber. And there's a very simple task that they need to do. And if you give both of them cucumber for the task, the two monkeys side by side, they're perfectly willing to do this 25 times in a row. So cucumber, even though it's really only water in my opinion, but cucumber is perfectly fine for them. Now, if you give the partner grapes, the food preferences of my capuchin monkeys correspond exactly with the prices in the supermarket. And so if you give them grapes, that's a far better food, then you create inequity between them. So that's the experiment we did. Recently, we videotaped it with new monkeys who had never done the task, thinking that maybe they would have a stronger reaction, and that turned out to be right. The one on the left is the monkey who gets cucumber. The one on the right is the one who gets grapes. The one who gets cucumber, note that the first piece of cucumber is perfectly fine. The first piece she eats. Then she sees the other one getting grape, and you will see what happens. So she gives a rock to us, that's the task. And we give her a piece of cucumber, and she eats it. The other one needs to give a rock to us. And that's what she does. And she gets a grape. And she eats it. The other one sees that. She gives a rock to us now, gets again cucumber.
Even monkeys are annoyed when fairness is violated. Because we value fairness, we want to maintain fairness in queues as well. In this picture, even when nobody stands in the queue, they still maintain fairness using slippers. Moreover, when people jump the queue, maybe we won't stab them, but at least we will give them a stare for their rudeness. However, sometimes queue jumping is not intentional. In this video, we can see this little poor mouse fail to get served. All the other mice who arrive later than him get served ahead of him. Though technically speaking, they are all queue jumpers. However, none of them intentionally did that. This type of unintentional queue jumping will still make customers feel their belief in fairness is violated. According to the study, when customers realize they have to wait longer than those behind them, they will feel less satisfied with their waiting experience. Worth mentioning, sometimes others finish faster than us have no actual impact on our own waiting time, yet we'll still feel bad about it. In other words, all we want is the person who comes first gets served first. In queuing theory, such fairness is called first come first serve. So how do we maintain first come first serve in queues? Well, when we only have one server, first come first serve is naturally preserved. As you can see, customers are always served in order of their arrival. However, what will happen when we have multiple servers and multiple queues? Some queues will finish faster than the others. If we arrive at such system, we can only make our decision based on length of each queue, just like that of the mouse. It's likely that the shorter queue finishes slower and the first come first serve is violated. And when the first come first serve is violated, our belief in fairness is also violated, and our waiting experience will become worse. Let's see how Larry David reacts to such scenario and how he proposed a solution.
What can I get for you?
Yeah, Belle Fille. It's that one.
Got
it. That's great.
Sorry, I think that's the last one.
I was online ahead of him. I was ahead of him.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have changed line.
Can I get you something else?
No, I don't want anything else. You have a line problem in the store. The lines move completely disproportionately. You know, there's a way to fix that, too. You know, like they do in Disneyland. You know how the line snakes around? Go to a deli, you take a number. So it's fair, that's all. Because you probably don't add up stuff at the same rate. But there's a way to solve it. One line. It's not a crazy idea.
Let's look at his idea. In real world, some fast food restaurants have this type of lines. McDonald's, for example, have one queue for each of its counter. Say 2 people arrive at this restaurant and pick these 2 queues. As we can see here, the person who arrives earlier finishes later, and his waiting experience and satisfaction is affected. On the other hand, Wendy's, another fast food restaurant, decide to have one long queue for all its counters. Let's see what will happen here. We can see the person who comes later will be forced to begin the service later. This practice is called pooling. Having only one queue is an easy and straightforward way to enforce first come first serve or fairness in queue, as Larry David suggests. In queuing theory, pooling servers can not only impose first come first serve, but also reduce average waiting time of the system. However, it's worth mentioning that first come first serve does not mean the person who comes first gets their service finished first. Let's now talk about other aspects of fairness in queue. We have talked about invisible queue in our first module. Think about how fairness plays a role when we cannot observe the queue. Take call center for example. We were always told the next available customer representative will be with you shortly. Are we in a pooled queue, just like Wendy's? Do we have first come first serve? Turns out not. Because we cannot observe the queue, call centers have a different way of managing the queue without need to satisfy fairness. Comparing 2 people, one with 5K in the bank, the other one with 500K in the bank. Do you think their phone call will be picked up at the same time? According to New York Times, we have a secret score in the call centers. Low score sends us back to the queue, yet a high score will give us priority treatment. However, At some time, an unfair queue is fair to us. For example, at airport, we see people with priority boarding jump the boarding queue, but we are okay with it. Why do we think it's fair? Well, because they paid for it. Companies are earning money by making those queue jumpings fair, and encourage us to buy the same privilege using our ego to maintain fairness. To sum up, in this module, we talk about fairness. We talk about fairness in psychology and fairness in queues. We talk about first come first serve and how do we use pooling to achieve it. We talk about fairness in virtual queues and how companies profit from fairness by selling priority. That's it for this module. See you again in the next module. Thank you.